She ain't happening. I start slapping men. Tell them I'm the best and they react with friends.
This is how we rip shit. This is how we...
Kiana Evans. I caught chills just thinking about it. Y'all see the goosebumps I got? Sir, I don't know what he said to you, but you whooped his ass. And I want to reach out to you because I want to know, what did that Cuban man say to you to make you call the ancestors on his... You, sir.
Let's get into this case of F around and find out, because he effed around and found out. Let's get into it. So this person right here decided that he wanted to become the devil on his flight, Frontier flight from Philly to Miami. And guess what? He effed around and found out because he encountered the right one that was not playing with him, okay? He encountered Mr. Evans. Now, Mr. Evans was sitting in front of that man with his headphones on, looking out the window, enjoying the view because the aircraft was getting ready to land in Miami. When some young ladies next to him kept looking back, and, you know, it caught his attention. But before he, you know, paid any attention to it, he said he did hear off and on a little bit through his headphones someone laughing, but he paid no attention to it because he thought they were either watching TV or just laughing with somebody in conversation. So the girls kept looking back, so that made him like kind of pull his headset back to figure out what was going on. And that's when the young ladies kind of gestured them being uncomfortable to him, and he turns around and, you know, asks the man, is he okay? Are you okay? And that's when he started to talk really demonic towards Mr. Evans right here, calling him immortal, minuscule man, and things like that. Just real evil things. And Mr. Evans was like, are you okay? This is weird. This is not normal, right? So he finally sits back down, puts his headsets back on, and then he decides to go to the restroom. Mr. Evans goes to the restroom, and before he goes back to his seat, he lets the flight attendants know, hey, this man behind me is tripping. He's making threats, and I'm letting you all know if something happens, I'm going to defend myself. And they stated, oh, we are aware of him. Just hit the call button and we'll be right there if anything happens. So he's headed back to his seat, and before he can properly get seated in his seat, the man is still talking crazy to him. So he says, hey, man, are you okay? What's wrong with you? Like, I'm not on that. Chill out. Things like that. The other man that I just showed you, the one who effed around and found out, that wanted to be the devil, he proceeds to hop up, put his forehead on Mr. Evans' forehead, and begin to choke him. And that's when Mr. Evans, okay, let him know he was not the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, all the way to the 10. He was not the one.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for choosing us today. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing, hit that like button, and consider joining us to be part of this growing community. All right, imagine going on a flight, you know, to go to your vacation destination, wherever you want to go, and minding your own business, listening to music, you know, looking out the window, admiring God's creation, at the clouds, at the sunset, only for a random man to begin insulting you and grabbing you by the throat mid-air on a flight. Yeah, this is what happened to Kiana Evans, an African-American man who was actually insulted by one called Ishan Sharma. And of course, Blackamericans always take care of business, and that's exactly what happened. But in Evans' response, he says that he sought help from the flight attendants when Sharma began acting erratically and only defended himself once Sharma physically grabbed him. Now, Evans ended up throwing punches to free himself, and the guy left the plane with some black eye. But let's take a look at these videos that I have compiled for you guys. A lot of people are reacting to this. It's going viral, and this actually happened on Frontier Airlines. Let's take a look at what people have to say and how Blackamericans are reacting to this. I'll be back with more commentary after this. Let's watch.
What's crazy is I was looking out the window and I was watching the sun set. I had my headphones on, I couldn't hear anything. I'm in my own world and I'm just admiring God's creation. The skies were beautiful and I'm just like, wow, this is magnificent. And as soon as the sun set completely and the sky went dark, that's when everything happened. This guy starts speaking to me in a way that I've never heard a human speak to anybody. He's laughing villainously, like and it was just all evil. He's calling me immortal. He's calling me a puny man. He's calling me weak. He's saying all this stuff to just irritate my spirit and my soul, and everything in me just felt like there was some sort of like entity in him speaking to me, and it was dark. It was creepy. It was just, man, like, yo, get right with God. Like, get right with God. If you ain't doing it now, there's no better time. It's not too late.
Welcome to the no-fly zone, buddy. If y'all got beef 30,000 feet in the air where everybody's safety is in jeopardy, I got a couple of words for you. Try therapy. It works. You can, fighting somebody on a plane is nasty work. Sir, if that window is busted open with your fist, we're all dying.
Who the fuck says I'm trying to be Martin Luther King? I don't give a fuck. Y'all want us to come together, but you won't even come together in the voting booth. Please get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. I want my page to turn into a slap down, back and forth with you idiots. It is a race issue. He wasn't black and Keanu is. It's so many people in the comments mad, calling out black people, being upset. He got his ass kicked, as well as he should. And just in case you ain't black and you white, y'all got bigger fish to fry. Stop asking us to be in unison with your ass and go over there and find out why y'all always pewing up schools. Cause it's 2025 and y'all still leading away with that shit. Leave us the fuck alone. Come in and sit down and shut the fuck up. Lord, it's Sunday. I shouldn't be cussing, but oh hell, I cuss every day. Why not? Everything is about race. You hoes know that. 2 white women couldn't even tell the truth about the situation. It took a black woman having to show her video because we immediately boxed in. Don't get me started on that shit. Then underneath Keanu's post, it's Hispanics mad. Y'all gotta get y'all shit together and pick a side. We ain't got shit to do with it. Keanu whooped his ass. And I think that was a great set of turbulence on his ass. I bet you the next flight he get on, if he can get on one, his ass will sit on his hand. In the words of Vanessa Williams on Soul Food, oh, fuck the family. The family went into the voting booth and fucked us up. Fuck out here with that bullshit.
The way ABC News and Good Morning America tried to slander that black man after 2 girls on the Frontier airplane witnessed the black guy, and I forgot what race the other guy was, but them 2 was in a physical altercation on the plane. The 2 girls literally lied and said the black guy was the aggressor. Go figure. The black guy was the aggressor. So they literally slandering this man's name all over social media, all over the news stations, to only come to find out that the witnesses that were near the altercation that heard what the other guy was telling the black guy, mind you, the black guy was minding his own damn business. The boy had his headphones on. He was looking out the window at the sunset. He didn't even hear some of the slurs that were being told to him from the man sitting behind him. So the girls who recorded the video, baby, all they saw was hands swinging and automatically assumed it was the black boy that started the fight. So I think that black boy, I forgot his name, y'all, please don't be mad with me, because y'all be so bad with me sometimes, but TikTok be attaching it to the search engine, so just click the search engine and see what I'm talking about, y'all. But yeah, I'll sue all of them. Good Morning America, ABC News, whoever had the story plastered around, making him out to be the villain. If I was him, I would sue them.
Don't judge a situation until you know all of the details. I saw a viral video of a Frontier flight where a gentleman named Kiana Evans was in a fight with some other gentlemen. And of course, you run to the comments and everybody's saying how terrible that is, and they're indicting and making comments against Kiana Evans. But then if you just go and look up the story, you find out that Kiana Evans is not the one to be blamed here. The other gentleman was the one who was charged. He was making life-threatening threats against Kiana Evans. He tried to call for the attendant. The attendant was not attendant. And so the other gentleman was forehead to forehead with him, took him by the throat. He ended up practicing self-defense. So before you just go running the comments or making videos of your own and trying to make somebody look bad in a particular light, you should probably get all the details first.
Okay guys, wait a minute. Before we continue, I have another video from, Kiana Evans' side. That is the next video up. But before we continue, I have to say something. We've seen this before. A melanated man gets attacked on a flight, and in the end ends up, being blamed for it. It's a common story by now. Melanated people are always, the villains unless, we are actually proven not guilty. If it wasn't for actually Kiana Evans being a very kind man who never wanted any trouble, going to the flight attendants, actually, telling them about the whole situation and notifying them that if he gets attacked, he's going actually to defend himself because he has the right to defend himself. Now, if it wasn't for that, I don't know where he would have ended up, for it's always actually a different story when a melanated man against a palm-colored man. Well, the melanated man is always going to be blamed for everything unless there is evidence to actually prove the story to be different. Well, this is the sad reality that Black Americans, melanated people, and African Americans have to go through. This is their life. When they're trying to tell you about black fatigue, this is exactly what they mean. But let's watch, Kiana Evans' side so that we can understand how it's going, because, mainstream media tried to frame him as the guy to blame. And we all saw the videos that ABC News tried to put it differently. But let's hear from the man himself and his side of the story. I'll be back with more.
I would like to take the time to clarify a few things. I'm getting many comments like the one above of people saying that I provoked that man during the flight. First thing first, Good Morning America, ABC News, they have the narrative wrong. That's not the truth. They didn't take the time to ask any witnesses who were close by and actually witnessed the real thing, what happened. They interviewed the two girls who were at the front of the flight who videotaped what happened from a distance, whose video went viral. They interviewed them. They didn't even see what happened. All they saw was the aftermath. They seen and heard commotion going on in the back, and then they start recording their phone after we're fighting. And you guys want to go with that narrative. I've been getting a lot of hate speech. I've been getting a lot of negative comments, but I'm also getting an overwhelming amount of support. And for everybody who does support and is taking the time to go down the rabbit hole and find the truth, thank you. ABC, Good Morning America, I wish you guys would reach out and actually get the true story. There's plenty of witnesses who were around me in the vicinity, and they posted their own testimony to social media, and it aligns with the story that I told WSVN and what happened. I was the one who got out of my seat and went to the restroom. I was the one who told the flight attendants about the disturbed man who was sitting behind me, because I was in the front seat and he was in the back seat, and I informed them that this man is giving me threats and he's saying things to me. Before I even got up out of my seat, I had my headphones on. I'm listening to music. I'm looking outside of the window, admiring the sunset, and I hear somebody faintly laughing behind me. I can't hear it that loud because my headphones are on, but he was laughing that loud that I could hear him faintly in my headphones. I thought it was just a normal person watching a movie on their phone, some kind of funny movie, and I paid it no mind. But the two young women who were sitting next to me, they kept breaking their neck to look back to see what he was laughing at and what was wrong with the guy. And after they multiple times kept looking back, it made me a little worried, so I took my headphones off and I looked at them, and they looked at me with concern about the person behind me. I turn around and I ask the guy, "Are you good?" And he starts doing that villainous laugh again. Ha 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 ha. You're nothing but a weak man, a mortal man, a puny man. Like, he's saying things like that to me, nobody else, to me. I didn't even know this guy was behind me the entire flight. I just start laughing about it because I think it's funny. I'm like, what's wrong with this crazy guy? Why is he talking to me like that? I just get up. I'm like, I go to the restroom and the flight attendants are right there. So I say, "Hey guys, there's a disturbed, deranged man behind me. He's giving me things like death threats and stuff like that. I'm just letting you know that, if he puts his hands on me, like, I'm gonna defend myself." I tell them that. They're like, "It's okay. We basically already know about what's going on." They let me know that they were aware of him. And they told me to go back to my seat and press the button if he continues. So I do just that. I walk back to my seat. As I'm sliding back through the aisle to get to 18F, which is where I was sitting, he's jawing off at me again. Oh, you weak man. You go to the restroom and you're looking at yourself in the mirror because you're just a weak man. If you challenge me, it will lead to your death and your destruction. He's saying evil things like this to me. And as soon as he starts jawing off again, I just get up, I press the button, and I turn around and I question him. I said, yo, what's your problem? You know, I'm not with any of that demonic stuff that you have going on. And he gets up immediately. He puts his forehead on my forehead, face to face, and he grabs me with both of his hands and he starts to choke me. You guys are saying things, oh, if you're a man of God, why didn't you use your words? Why didn't you rebuke him? What would you do if you were in a confined space on an aircraft and another stranger you don't know stands up and starts to choke you? I defended myself. I did what any rational person would do. Okay? I genuinely concerned for this man, Ashan. Whatever demon, whatever situation he was going through, I pray that man gets the help that he needs, because that is not okay. When is it okay to put your hands on another human being on a flight for no reason, unprovoked? I did nothing to him. I was minding my business the entire time. I was prepared for all the racist comments and the hate speech and things like that, and honestly, it doesn't faze me. The only thing that upsets me is that these news outlets are reporting false narratives and everybody is starting to run with it and believe it. Take the time. Go to WSVN on Instagram. Go on YouTube. Go to WSVN and search the news and listen to the story. There's a young woman named Melissa who was on the flight and she was helping break up the fight. She was right there when everything happened, and she tells the entire story on her Instagram. I will tag her Instagram in the comments. Go watch it for yourself. Don't believe everything the news puts out. They just put out silly narratives without having the real truth behind the entire story. Thank you to everybody who's supported me. Thank you to everybody who's reached out to me with encouragement. You guys have been nothing but uplifting through this entire experience. Everything in my life just changed overnight, all because of this one incident. I don't condone violence. I don't condone things like that, but I also don't believe it's okay for another man to attack another man unprovoked. I don't believe in that. And I believe you have every right to defend yourself, and that's exactly what I did. You know, a lot of people want to hear more about the story and they want to know what's going on, but I'm honestly getting tired of this. Every day I've waken up and it's been more and more and more commotion and more people reaching out to me, and it's just getting overwhelming. So this is the last thing I'm just going to post about this story. I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys want something more in depth, then I may post something on YouTube at some point, but just stay connected to me. Follow my page, like my page, subscribe to my page, subscribe to my YouTube, whatever the case may be, if you're looking for more. But right now, I just need some time and some space. So hey, God bless you guys and take care.
All right, guys, there you have it. Actually, that's the full story there. You know, Kiana Evans actually acted in self-defense. For those of you who are going to his comment section and trying, you know, to tell him that he tried to provoke the man, people are actually misunderstanding the whole story. And the saddest part is that mainstream media actually just thought that Kiana Evans was the man who actually provoked everything and started everything. Well, as I said earlier, you know, we all know the story. He's a melanated man who actually got in a provocation or altercation with a palm-colored person. Of course, he's gonna be framed by being the most aggressive there, but it's not always the truth. And most of the time, melanated people are provoked because of people like this guy, you know, Ishan Sharma, who actually, I don't know, you know, maybe he's right. This guy was maybe in a demonic stance or something. How do you actually stand up, or how do you actually start laughing demonically against or towards someone on a flight? It doesn't make sense. You know, this kind of provocation is actually, you know, maybe the man wasn't in his right sense, or he was actually in a demonic stance or something, because report have it admit that, Keanu Evans is a man of God. Maybe, he was actually disturbed by his presence there. We all know that, demonic spirits can be actually disturbed when, a spirit of light is in the presence. Now, with that said, in an instant, actually, if I break down what happened, after these guys actually started throwing punches and throwing hands, other passengers, bystanders pleaded with them to stop, and the flight attendant tried to intervene, asking them to sit down. Now, after landing, Sharma was arrested by Miami-Dade deputies on battery charges, and he had a cut above his left eyebrow needing stitches. Evans suffered minor scratches. Defense claimed that Sharma's lawyer contended he was merely meditating, and Evans misinterpreted his behavior. How do you meditate while insulting someone? How does that make sense? Let me know, because even if you are trying to defend someone, out of a crime, but how does someone actually meditate while insulting and threatening somebody else? And how does that meditation actually go to the length of putting your hands on someone's throat and your forehead on someone's forehead, trying to threaten him and calling him, a minor man? It doesn't make sense. Well, legally, Sharma faces battery charges and was released on a $500 bond with a 500-foot no contract order for Evans' home or workplace. The event went viral, sparkling debate over whether Evans was defending himself or instigating the flight. Some passengers claim that, Evans provoked Sharma, while Evans says the video only shows him defending himself. Now, I don't know why they're actively trying, to put it and frame it as if Evans provoked Sharma. The man who actually stood up went to the toilet just to be able to talk to the flight attendants and notify them of the situation. How is that provocative? That is a man who is actually trying to prevent this situation, from going any further than it should have. And he actually notified the flight attendant and told him, if I happen to be attacked, I'm gonna have to defend myself. And the flight attendant told him that, we have seen the situation, you just press the button and we'll come help. And this is exactly what happened, guys. What do you think about this story? What do you think about this actually happening on a flight? And what do you think about, the people and the news media, the mainstream media, trying to frame Keanu Evans as the man who was trying to provoke everything? Let me know in the comments, guys. What is your opinion on this? I'm your presenter, Profess. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing, hit a like button, and see you on the next episode.